Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xaereth Prevails, a Grand Arena story. Today I'm going to show you guys match 8 of the current Grand Arena Season 10. I'm faced off against Riz 0125 with a slashed out eye, apparently. No idea what that comes from. He is from a pretty strong guild. PvP Elite is one of the top PvP guilds, as you might expect. There's not just a pretense. Looking at the stats, pretty close on our relic levels, honestly. And yeah, I actually have more relic levels, though that's kind of something not to trust just because it's inflated by a bunch of upgrades that didn't actually count for this Grand Arena match. On my end, look at how many 6-dot mods my opponent has. He has over double what I have. Overall, just way better mods than I have, certainly. And they also have way more gear than me. Their gear 13 is comparable, but then their gear 12 is just completely out of my realm of understanding. So, anyways, my opponent only had one Galactic Legend. I only had one Galactic Legend. And they always put their Darth Revan team on defense. They always put their Supreme Leader Kylo on defense. Looking at their history, that's just what they've always done. And I assumed that that was what they were going to do this time. So my defenses here are a little bit strange. Now, you can see in the very back, I have a Hux team, and Hux is almost always going to go with my Supreme Leader Kylo. What I decided to do here, I decided to try something a little bit weird, some mental gymnastics. I decided that I wanted to try going the efficiency route against them, and just kind of trying to make it so that it was really hard to chase my score. And so what I was planning on doing, and I'll let you guys find out in the video if it succeeds, I planned on using a Jedi Knight Luke team to take out their Supreme Leader Kylo, and if I needed to, I would use a team with General Skywalker to finish him off, and then I would save my Supreme Leader Kylo for, instead of trying the mirror match, instead I would try to just solo their Darth Revan squad. So you guys will see how that goes if it all pans out. Here, when I looked at his deployment, it's kind of funny. The Kylos look almost identical, honestly. And one of those is KRU, Kylo Ren Unmasked, and the other one is, of course, Supreme Leader Kylo. And then, of course, a pretty strong General Grievous squad, where the General Grievous had 150k health, and as well as a crit damage triangle, which is pretty rare. Most General Grievouses that are built like that don't have the crit damage triangle. They have a health triangle, so pretty impressive. And first, we just need to try taking out the Supreme Leader Kylo team, of course. That's the whole plan. If we can't kill him, then we're probably just sunk. So, taking my Jedi Knight Revan plus Luke and Hoda here, and this is a team that was pioneered by my buddy Klesso, just so we're all aware of who gets the credit, if credit is indeed due. So Revan passes the turn to Luke, and now Luke stuns the other two guys on the side, and we need to take out Hux as quick as we can. The goal here is, if we can't actually win, if we can't kill Kylo, then we need to, at the very least, kill the side guys, so then General Skywalker can go in and finish him off easy enough. So Jedi Revan died fairly easy, and you can see that Supreme Leader Kylo is kind of ramping up and just doing a ton of hits, ton of damage. It's not that fun. But now, finally, we're at the point where Luke can actually get some hits in. He has his Jedi Will, or whatever the buff is that he has, as well as Master's Training. So he's going to be hitting Kylo back. If Kylo hits him, he's going to be punching back. So with Hoda calling him to assist and doing all of his stuff, eventually I did just manage to take him out for 49 banners. So That's actually not too bad. That's better than I would assume I would be able to get with my own Supreme Leader Kylo. Now, this isn't always a sure thing, but the speed's obviously matched up well enough, and I probably got some decent luck. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to look at that match more, but I'm happy enough with the result, of course. And now we took that team out. We need to make sure that we have enough squads available to take out the back zone, whatever's in the back. But first, you guys saw my last match where I used Jedi Training Rey against Kylo Ren unmasked with First Order Executioner and Red Trooper, or maybe it was OG Kylo and Red Trooper, and that was a mistake. I told you guys it was a mistake to use 3PO with her, and so of course I decided to try it again, and in reality I just wanted to try this one more time to see if it was just Red Trooper who did it. In theory, I thought that was a pretty good chance that it was just Red Trooper and his AoE and all of his dispels and everything that had doomed me, so I wanted to try it again. Now you see that BB-8 did get stunned, but that's not really an issue because Rey can just dispel that with an assist, and once you take out First Order Executioner, things get a lot easier. So just need to get the healing immunity off on both of the Kylos here because they're going to be regenerating like crazy, and my Rey and BB-8 and 3PO for that matter are all really low relics. I think that maybe 3PO has like 2 or 3 relics, and the other 2 are only relic 1 at this point. So we got healing immunity on Kylo, and you can see how little damage I'm doing. It's just like almost nothing because he stacks defense every time I hit him, and every time he takes damage, he stacks defense, and that makes it really difficult to actually do any damage to him, even with healing immunity. He's just really tough. At Relic 7, it takes a lot of effort to take him out. However, we do have Foresight on the team in pretty decent numbers, and we're just, you can see that every once in a while I do my hand wave on Kylo Ren unmasked. It's because I don't want him to get a turn, and we're just working on OG Kylo here. Just almost seems like we're not getting anywhere. He's just built super tanky, but we do have plenty of time. We're just trying to control their turn meter, trying to make sure that they can't actually do anything, and eventually Kylo gets taken out because his stacking defense goes away after he takes a turn. And now we have just Kylo Ren unmasked, who can also be tough to take out, but with healing immunity, he is not nearly as difficult to take out as OG Kylo. And really, we were waiting on him to take this guy out because OG Kylo can one-shot a character if we're not careful. Kylo Ren unmasked is a great facilitator, and he can do a lot of amazing things in the context of a squad, but he does not one-shot characters ever unless they're gear 1, and that's only if he hits. So I did manage to get Illuminated Destiny off. I was kind of trying to wait as long as I could so that I could heal a little bit more protection, steal 1 more banner, and 53 is a pretty decent number. Now we have to take out this General Grievous squad, and I was thinking about it, and I didn't really have any great teams, frankly, to be able to do this, to be able to take him out. Jedi Revan was not available, and Padme I didn't really want to try. In fact, I don't know if she was available, come to think of it. It's been a little bit since I did this. I was on vacation, in case you guys didn't realize, which is why we're doing this style of video instead of a live stream. So I decided to take this Kylo Ren unmasked team with Watt here, and what I had discovered and thought about after a while was you can stun General Grievous here, and he has no one to actually like dispel that stun right away, so you can take quite a few turns right away without actually taking any damage from General Grievous. So my goal here was just to take out B1 first, or rather B2 first, while General Grievous was still not taking turns. And you can see that his first turn was actually after I killed B2, which is huge. Now, First Order Executioner almost died, of course. That none of them are doing great, but we're going to do a whole lot better. Now, you can also see that B1 also just gets stunned by Kylo Ren unmasked, and so you saw B1 just took a turn actually, and just had that turn ignored by stun, and so I kept taking the bait because General Grievous would heal all the way to full health, and then the mark would disappear on B1, and I'd be like, oh, maybe I can just one-shot him with Fox. Wouldn't that be fun? And the fact of the matter is, it would indeed be fun. However, it's also just not nearly as practical as I would have liked to believe. So, that's how it went. Now, killed B1. Of course, General Grievous got his AoE. But now, we can just take him out. So, this is one of the most, this is one of the better modded General Grievous characters that I've seen. In fact, it's very impressive. You can see I was very impressed with myself in my first few fights. I took a lot of screenshots. So I got 51 banners there. So obviously not max banners, but I did take out a pretty tough team with just Kylo and First Order Executioner and Watt. As predicted, they did have a Darth Revan squad in the back, the full bastard Darth Revan squad. So that wasn't necessarily fun, but we have Supreme Leader Kylo available, and we don't have Hux with him or anything, so it took me a while to think about how to go about this. We need to stun Bastila here, and the fact is, everyone says that you can't stun any of these characters, but you can. You can stun them, they just immediately get dispelled, unless that stun is undispellable, just the way, and the stun from Kylo is undispellable. So you can see after you take out Bastila, who was the biggest threat there, the rest of the team just totally folded. This was it was very satisfying to do this, even as I have other people doing it to me. It's still nice to just get that to happen every once in a while. And now it's just kind of a free-for-all. We've got all the good teams down. We need to take out what we can. I'm taking Nest alone, taking her as a solo, as opposed to people saying they're like, oh yeah, just solo this team with Nest, and then they're like, oh well, of course use Qi'ra. Well, duh. And I don't really consider that a solo. I would consider that a team, even if Qi'ra is meant to die and Nest does all the heavy lifting. We've kind of been discussing that on the Discord server lately. If you want to check that out, it's in the video description. But a few people told me I was crazy to try a solo here with Nest, because Nute is going to reduce my turn meter, and Droideka can do a ton of damage and hits, and in the end, though, when Droideka does his hits, every individual piece of damage contributes to her bonus protection. So, really, Nest doesn't have much to fear from Droideka. He can do a lot of damage at really high relic levels, but not really to Nest. Not usually. I've taken a lot of hits from even like Relic 5 and Relic 6 Droidekas, and it just hasn't really phased Nest that much. And Nute, the thing is, you got to be careful here, because if you have other characters that can reduce her turn meter, Nute can make it so that you essentially don't get any turns in like 5v5. In 3v3, though, it doesn't really apply that much. So he's going to keep doing extortion, and Nest is just going to keep punching him in the face until he dies. So another 55 banner win. Nice feeling there, especially against a Nute team, which are always annoying. Now we have this Finn, and Poe team up top. They need to die, of course, because they do. That's by far the most challenging team remaining. However, we do have the trump card here. We have Commander Luke with Han and Chewie. So you want to stun Finn first. You need to stun Finn first, in fact, and you have to kill him. Like he's extremely dangerous. So decided to just take him out. Now we're trying to control everyone. So we're trying to stun when we can before they get enough turn meter to take a turn. And Poe is the next target, of course, and then eventually Finn again. So 54 banners, you can get that most times if you go in the right order. You just need to control the situation because you end up being way faster than that team. You just need to be able to apply your advantage a little bit. So now I'm just kind of flip-flopping back and forth between the characters I have and the teams that I have available. Trying to just kind of chip away and figure out which teams are going to be necessary for what. And one team that I haven't really faced that much in 3v3, people seem to be taking them on offense all the time. They're still pretty good on defense though, are Geonosians. And so here I took Marauder so that I would have could have my Nihilus available for something else down the line if I needed to, because in 3v3 at least, Marauder is just as good as Nihilus, basically. He takes a lot of hits, he gets a lot of turn meter for every hit that he takes, and as you can see, I was able to just like take out that Brood Alpha really fast and easy. 52 banners. Traya was the one who got me the extra protection banner because she never got hit really beyond her bonus protection. So really easy win there, and I still have Nihilus available. Now the question is, how do we take care of these Nightsisters? I still have quite a few good, or at least decent teams remaining. So decided to bring in the Bounty Hunters. Bounty Hunters, man, people have been... Someone asked me the other day, really? Are Bounty Hunters actually good in 3v3? And I was like, I thought you watched my videos, because they are just amazing. This is a kind of different team, actually, from what we're used to facing. It's old Daka lead, so that means that they have a ton of extra defense, which they don't have much defense to start with, so extra might be kind of stretching it, but then they also have a ton of extra health. But Bounty Hunters are great at dealing with that. So there are obvious problems here, just because they can stun you still. But you can see that Jango and Boba both have healing immunity, and that is a really sad thing for old Daka. You can see that I shot at Spirit there with Boba, because Boba's basic attack doesn't actually kill permanently, and we don't want Zombie to be reviving Daka. That's not the goal. We want to get that first kill with an undispellable, or rather unrevivable death. And so Boba needs to either use Execute, or Jango needs to use any attack during his own turn. So now we're just trying to solve this. It doesn't take too long. We gotta find a good way to one-shot Spirit before she actually starts one-shotting my characters, but really not that big of a deal. Finally got the contract after all of this time, and really this is a pretty good fight. This was it went quite swimmingly. 54 is a great score, obviously, and Bounty Hunters in 3v3 are just really, really, really strong. I mean, they're good on defense too. I know a lot of people have been really enjoying putting their Jango on defense with a Separatist lead, and just like my opponent here, I feel like he's just a little bit too easily controlled. A little bit, I guess. We'll see a fight with them. I obviously do try against them. But we're gonna fight other teams first. So they did have a relic nest, and I wanted to make sure that I could take him or take her out. She didn't really have a ton of tenacity, so really this might be just kind of overkill in a way. We're taking Palpatine and Vader and Nihilus here, but I just want to be careful here. I felt like it was probable that my opponent was going to be really frustrated with my defense, and as such, I felt like maybe I could just maybe I could just sacrifice 3 banners in this fight in an attempt to get a one-shot kill, which I think a lot of people undervalue. Like, getting that 51 doesn't feel great. It's not like, wow, I just dominated that match, but it's also pretty helpful. Like, as long as you can get that one-shot kill, I'm not saying that it's what you should always be striving for, but I think we all get caught up in trying to be as efficient as we possibly can, and that's good. It's good to be efficient, but sometimes you need to. People lose their sight on what's really truly important. So here I'm just trying to weather the storm. Nest is just doing all this damage. I'm trying to stun her. Finally got the stun. And the real question is, can I just use my saber toss and kill her? I decided to just, as epic as it might have been, to actually do all that damage. It would also dispel Nest's stun, and I really didn't want to do that. So, anyways, Nest took a turn, and then she was still stunned, and I don't think that Palpatine stuns for 2 turns, so I'm not really sure what happened there. I wonder if that's a bug. But one way or another, I had the Annihilate ready, killed her pretty easy, and now we can take out this Dooku team. And honestly, that using Padme here again, probably not going to get 54 banners, but at the same time, there's not many squads out there that are more resilient. So the obvious question is what move first with Padme and with Anakin. Decided to go for the dispel and for the buffs, and turns out that was probably the right answer. Jango, even though he's relicked, is just not really up to the task. Padme's just a really strong counter to this squad. So now Sunfac is left hanging out there with the vague idea that maybe he should have been tanking more, and Anakin and GK are like, do you even tank, bro? It's kind of funny. 51 banners. Like I said, not the most efficient and amazing number of banners, but we did get the clear there. And now we just have this Phasma squad we got to take out. It does have a Relic 7 Red Trooper. However, I do have General Skywalker, and a lot of people, man, I keep seeing GAC history on people who just decide to try General Skywalker solo, and that's just not the right answer. Don't try it, guys, unless it's a sure thing. You just gotta take the full team, maybe get fewer banners, but like, seriously, it's embarrassing to me how often people fail with their General Skywalker trying to get those extra 2 banners, when instead you can just get a really easy 54. Like, so easy. It's so ridiculous how people wait or try to do these silly things. So I got the win there, and now we get to try our hand at the RNG market with Negotiator. So we're going to do that mirror match, and I'll just do the same thing I've always done with a, I don't know, 90% win rate. It's always nerve-wracking, though, because a 90% win rate still means you fail sometimes. Like, if I do this every single match in Grand Arena, if I have to do this mirror match, then eventually I'm gonna fail at least one time every single Grand Arena. So I need to get a better fleet for this, and actually someone just sent me a message with some ideas on things I could do, so I'll be practicing that in Arena. But for now, what our goal here is just to get Anakin from, we want to keep Anakin from being able to or rather, we want to take Anakin's health down to about 40%, something like that, and keep Ahsoka alive. Once Anakin technically gets gets down to below 50%, which obviously we failed here, then the enemy negotiator is supposed to just put the Undying Loyalty buff on them. Obviously everything just went to total hell here, and I'm left trying to scramble. I did use my Daze AoE as well against them in response, and then I took Plo in early just because I wanted all that Daze gone, and I wanted to push my advantage as long as Anakin had Daze on him as well. So now they have Undying Loyalty as per usual. Super frustrating. I'm not attacking Houndstooth when I can, just because he has Retribution, and that's going to be irritating. And I decided to postpone putting my taunt onto Houndstooth from Plo, just in case I needed it for later. And so you can see Y-Wing came in, dispelled my taunt, which isn't awesome. But I was able to one-shot Houndstooth. Of course, Anakin had gotten rid of Daze at that point, so that wasn't fun either. I shot Y-Wing because Y-Wing did not have Retribution, and Clone Sergeant did. And here I'm like, man, which reinforcement should I even bring in? Decided to go for 5s. I was hoping I could get that target lock on Anakin. Didn't quite get it, obviously. And so I did get a big hit and did some damage to their tanks. This wasn't an awesome feeling. Their Y-Wings came in and bombed me, of course, and it's looking pretty grim here at this point. It's like Anakin is hiding behind 2 tanks and Undying Loyalty. Mine does not have Undying Loyalty anymore, and he's dazed. My whole team is dazed, and I'm a whole turn away from the ultimate. Not a great look. One way or another, even if I end up winning this, I vowed to myself that I would find a better solution. And just when things were looking up, their Plo came in and dispelled everything, healed everyone, and everything's looking even worse. Anakin is sitting there with no protection, and I decided, well, maybe my bombing run can actually like take someone out before I just die. And as it stood, that Anakin actually had a turn right after that, so the bombs exploded, put Daze on Anakin, and so I was able to just take out some ships, and Anakin didn't get bonus turns, and suddenly everything was looking much better. The vagaries of fleet always confound me. So 56 banners, not amazing, but I got the win, and I got the full clear with no fails, and a pretty decent score considering my opponent placed both Supreme Leader Kylo and Darth Revan. And with that, I did manage to get my First Order kills enough, with First Order Executioner being like the only guy who earned them for me. I guess Red Trooper did once. And that was it. My opponent actually, I won't show it here in the screenshots, but my opponent, I had messaged them and just said like, hey, I have video of this if you want to see it later or something. Like I don't know, I was just offering for him to interact, and then eventually I would tell him about the video. I forget all of the details, but in the end he was like, well, wow, you did good. And he's like, I guess I'll try against you. And then he went in and he killed only Darth Revan, not Bastila or Malak. And he said, well, that didn't take long. I don't really like 3v3, and I'm done. So he quit, and that was it. So that was it. I ended up with, it looked like my opponent didn't even attempt to fight me, but as it stands, I just beat all of the resolve out of him, essentially. So got a win, and now, of course, the next match you guys will see is the finals against a double ultimate galactic legend. It's an extremely epic match, and it is like 2 hours long. So I am going to post the full thing just because a lot of people said that it was extremely engaging, and I don't want you guys to miss out on that. If you want to, I will have timestamps there, of course, for those of you who don't want to see it. And anyways, I think I'm going to call it good there. So Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Xaereth prevails.